Time for a new season of Palangeau Park because the daffodils are coming up. Well, and other things are falling down and all, but here we are, home. So this is the start, yes, of season 2, Palangeau Park, 2026. It has been a day since we came back from our three and a half months away in Palm Springs, California. So today, what I thought I'd do, just to sort of as a preview, is kind of take a look at what's going on back here, and see how it looks, see how things are. Well, I mean, it was winter, so everything was basically dead. Apparently, a week ago there was like an inch and a half of snow out here, and it may happen again as in the next few weeks because it's still it's March. What is it, 21st right now? So. Anyway, so let's take a look at what's been going on out here, what is going on out here. Let's take an overall look at the story here. So these are the remnants of last year. This, you might recall, was this beautiful annual that we had up that was really beautiful throughout the entire summer. Well, it's fell over. The chairs have fallen over. But here is the incredible, and you can see obviously that there's a lot of stuff that will need to be cleaned up in the next few weeks. But the thing that's really cool is that right over here, this is where spring is really beginning. We have the daffodils, and you can see that these daffodils are about ready to burst open. In addition to what will eventually be daylilies over here. Let's actually take a look over here. Man, aren't these beautiful? Look at this. This is early spring. This is early spring. This area we will be paying particular attention to because if you recall, right at the end of the summer, beginning of the fall, I planted a bunch of tulip bulbs. So it looks like those are actually on their way up. All this here again needs to be cleaned up, as does all of this. The bird feeder, I have. When I got home yesterday, it was one of the first things I did was to get this guy going again. And the birds, they're around. They're already starting to come back. So that's good. That's a good thing. What else is going on? So walking around the Palangeau Park now, again, this is the first time I have been out here in 3.5 months. Well, more if you consider the fact that it had snowed right before we left. But, things are moving along in terms of like, in terms of nothing really at the moment. You'll see in the coming weeks, as we did last year, you will see the rise of all kinds of things back here. But it's interesting. And by the way, that house, if you remember last year, that house that was being built, it's built. So we got some people there to get to know. I don't know if we want to look over here, over at the boys next door. Their treehouse, not looking too good. But yeah, Frank said he's going to start working on his tomatoes and everything else. We've got a lot of leaves, a lot of things to clean up. We'll be doing that in the coming weeks. Let's go take a look at the path, right? If you remember, the end of last summer, we had this new path created. by Jonathan and his crew, and it's still looking okay. It's still looking okay. Not much has changed. Again, there's some cleanup that needs to be done. And yeah, I got some leaves. Buddhas are still out here. They're doing okay. I got to put some of the other Buddhas out. And then up in the front, yeah, I mean, things are okay. A couple of branches down here and there. So I'm thinking I may put some of these extra stones in this direction here, which was something I thought about late last year. Got a lot in the front. Got some of these that are a little more discolored, but I don't know. I think the first step here is going to be just picking up these big branches and well, those fallen over blue chairs, because that just doesn't look very presentable. Yeah, so let's see what's going on here. Oh yeah, that kind of comes up pretty easily. There's that. And there's that. So we're going to take this over to the back, because then when we eventually have a bonfire with Matt next door, we'll have, these will be the first things really to go. I got this big stack over here, and I got two. I'm not sure how I feel about this so far, because without the little pebbles that Jonathan put in here last year and all the way back here, I'm afraid that it's going to look a little disjointed, like, oh, he forgot to do this section over here. So I'm going to let that settle a little bit. I may see what Frank thinks, and then decide if we want to continue going with this or we want to fill it in somehow. It's a quandary. All right, it's a rainy day, windy. Well, maybe not that windy, but we are getting a little bit of hail. Few storms here. Yeah, you can see the hail. So no outdoor work today. So it's Monday, March 30th. It's a beautiful day in the Chicago area. It's actually in the low 70s. I guess it's supposed to be nice for a couple of days before the next cold front comes in and drops us down to the 40s again, which has been the roller coaster ride since we've been home, and apparently before that too. But yeah, there's a lot going on. And actually over here you can see our what do you call that? Our windmill is going wild, even though it's really not that windy out at all today. It's actually very, very pleasant. So my plan is to do a little bit of work out here. I want to do some of the cleanup that I've mentioned needs to be done. Look at the daffodils over here. Hello. Daffodils are doing really, really well right now. But so I want to spend a little time on sort of cleaning up the yard. May also take off the tarps that is over the furniture, and kind of get it to be a little more spring-like, which is something that we typically do around this time. So yeah, we'll see. Also good work on that path, the path extension. Decide on that too. Do a little bit of raking here first. There is still a lot of leaves from the fall, so I need to clean those up a little bit. I saw this chipmunk yesterday, and the chipmunk was trying to get at some food, and he kind of had to dig like a bit, like into the leaves in order to get at whatever food was there. So You know, I'm not a big fan of the chipmunks, but I do like to, help out the creatures in the neighborhood. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, okay, when the guys come and they usually do a lot of the yard work and such, like the first cleanup for the spring, they usually use a blower. And so I think it's time for me to use the blower instead of this rake business. I think I am going to still do some from this area over here, because this is where we get a lot of the flowers and stuff, but the blower's coming. I mean, at this point, what this does is it kind of levels it out a little bit so that there's still some leaves. It kind of protects it from, possible freezing, which could certainly happen still. But we also see the beginnings of quite a bit of new green growth that's underneath all of this. Folding is not one of my favorite things to do. I was listening to the Smartless podcast earlier today, and Sean Hayes was talking about how he doesn't like to do laundry, but he likes to fold towels. That's okay. But I don't like to fold these. So if you notice, I do a really, really fantastic job of just trying to get them as together as possible, and then they just go into a big pile. Who cares anyway? It's not like they're going to get wrinkled, but so what? They're wrinkled all the time. That'll go in the garage for the winter. So, what's great about the stones that Jonathan put down last year here in the Zen garden is that they don't blow. So I don't have to worry about I'm just going to blow the stuff that's on top of it, and they're not going to blow away. There's some, if you remember, I don't remember what it is, but it's some kind of a epoxy, some kind of a glue that kind of sticks all these together, but they look great. As far as the path extension over here, it doesn't look bad. So I think I'm going to try it out, and I think I'm going to bring more of the leftover slabs over and maybe go a little bit further with it. Although this time I think I'm going to use the wheelbarrow, because I'm telling you, lifting those things up hurts this guy's back. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to try to do that. There's a wheelbarrow. Is now inside our fancy new shed. So this is what's left over here. I brought a few of those, but there's quite a bit to develop that path out a little bit more. So I think I'll move some of these into the back now. Quite a bit here. Looks kind of good. What I'm doing now is I'm actually taking some of the old slats that were in the Zen garden before we had it completed. I'm talking about all of this over here. And the idea is just to kind of continue it for as long as I can let it go. And then we'll see. So this isn't bad, actually. I shouldn't say it that way. I think it's actually pretty good. And what's interesting about it is that, you know, these are like the nicer ones. These are the nice white ones. And then as you get further into the Palangeau Park back here, you see now we've got the darker ones. And then this will lead you into these other various parts of the Palangeau Park. But let's take a look again over from this perspective. So it has some promise. And also in terms of things from last year, to figure out what to do with these rocks that also used to be in the Zen garden. So, I don't know, figure that out too. Maybe not today, I need a rest.
Yeah, it's like,
Here's the buddy, Wrigley,
pathetic one. That is so pathetic.
Yes, I know. Life is rough with the Larsons. I know how it is.